They're really nice when you enter the
can figure
Canada.
that
When
out.
you go back into your own country.
Hello everyone. Calling to order the February 12th Finance Board meeting. We'll take roll first. I recognize that I am here, Zane is here, Scott is here, Kunal is here, Jessica is here, Carly is here. So we have approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda we need to make?
No.
Okay. Going once, going twice. Seeing that, we're going to move on to the next one, approval of the February 5th minutes. Scott, you had voiced some concerns?
I put a bunch of suggestions. They were just resolved, so I'm not sure if we go over them or not.
Resolved by who? When?
Jessica, I imagine. Jessica, you're all right with what the minutes say at the current moment?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What were the changes there?
There's a couple just rewording, right?
Yeah.
I changed them to better accurately reflect what I remember saying.
Okay. Seeing that, is there a motion on the floor?
Move to approve the minutes.
February 5th. Okay.
Seconded.
All those for approving the minutes, please raise your hands now. 5-4, 0 against. Back to attendance. Tanya has notified me of a medical issue going on. I will be seeing Tanya as this is the second time this has occurred during the semester. Moving from that, we do have JL 13-18-19. Carly, I know you had spoken with Jared about revising this one a bit. Would you like to give us a little overview of this?
Yeah, I didn't know if he was coming in this week.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, so he wants to change the budgetary policy, specifically the line item affecting the Senate allocation fund in the budget, because the wording of it is not as inclusive as he had hoped. He wanted to change the phrase. If you scroll down to the next page, it said monies or something, which was one of my comments of like, did we not say monies in an official SGA docs? So we changed that to the line item. And he wanted to include explicitly that the line item was for funding Senate initiatives, and for his purposes, he wanted to include membership development. The original wording of it, which he sent, I think, over the weekend,
This is extraordinarily broad.
It was like, and any appropriate.
Anything
was
approved
like any
that received approval from the Senate.
Like appropriate.
Any appropriate use of fund that just needs a majority vote of the Senate.
Or Senate legislation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Senate legislation majority vote.
Yep.
So I was like, I was not comfortable with that because I think that's far too broad, and I think knowing from my experience that there have been goons in office who could like interpret that to mean, well, we can do whatever we want with a majority vote with this money. So I was like, no, let's limit that to say like either explicitly what you want it to mean, or saying what it could, like a few things that it could be used for, and Tanya's suggestion was a few, like list things that it can't be used for. So I actually met with him yesterday because the university closed and Senate was a meeting to talk about it, so we sat down and like talked about it, and he was like, okay, well, I basically just want to do it for membership development. Like I want to be able to use it for whatever internal development for the body. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I just don't like that wording, so I just wanted that to be removed. So he was like, cool, we'll do that. I don't know if it makes do we need to bring this up now if Senate hasn't formally seen it and gone over it? Because
it was under the assumption that they were going to see it yesterday, but then campus not closed, so I just kept on moving. And we could just keep it for now because I imagine it's going to come back to us, and might as well. Because next week they'll be stacked, so
yeah.
I'd rather not spend that much time on it.
Well, that's the thing. Like we can discuss it now, but I don't like. I'm
just
saying should we not vote on it until after Senate votes on it?
Yeah.
It makes sense to do that after Senate actually.
Yeah, we're not voting on it tonight, but it's just like we need to get this. I would like to get this through because next week will be a busy week for us. So yeah, finishing off the special stuff.
I think I feel strongly against this one. I don't think Senate should have a line item in the first place, but I think membership development and what I've heard about this is that they basically just want to fund food for their meetings. I don't think that's a good use of a student dollar.
Okay. Other thoughts? So a little bit more background on this one. Yeah. Sorry, Senate is allocated $2,500, I believe, in the current SGA budget to issue funds or for something. Not sure what it is at the current what Jared's seeking to do is to expand the definition of what they can utilize these funds on, and to include membership development.
Next year's proposed to be 1,250. So half of what it is.
Yeah. Additional thoughts?
I'd just like to say, Scott, if you do feel that way about the way that it's currently worded, I would definitely take that up with Jared because he's very open to any of these changes and like he understands that this is like his first time like writing and doing legislation, which is why he appreciated, or at least an email. I don't know if he just sent it to the Senate listserv or if it was
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like Tanya and I went through and like made comments and like changes because there were just like a couple of things off, and he does like really appreciate the feedback, and then like he does want everyone to kind of be on the same page with it. So if you do have like concerns like I don't like what you mean by that, like definitely take that up with him, and he's willing to like work with you to see kind of where you're coming from.
Could we invite him in to speak on what, like examples of things, since I don't think Senate has ever used this in recent years, so what does he want to use it for, or what initiatives and other things does he plan to use it for?
Well, I know
Want to make it accessible for?
Well, yeah, but I know directly for like initiatives, like I'm pretty sure it was used last year for the pollinator garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
the line item directly is for Senate initiatives, you know, where people like they have like at least some amount of money behind them to use that. Now whether there's been initiatives developed, I don't know about that this year. But I know like that's the purpose, and I think having the line item makes sense for that. Is to be like encouraging, you know, if you have an initiative that goes beyond like shared governance, and actually implementing something on campus, you do have like finances behind you. And to the point of the membership development, I would say on that point, deeming it like appropriate. Because I would say things like, yeah, like buying, I mean, if that's the whole point of it, like buying pizza, I don't think that's like a good use of it, but like, you know, having something like for the Senate, like, I don't know, like a workshop or like leadership, something like that. But that's also done by like campus's budget, for like retreats and stuff. But yeah, I guess like, you know, deeming it appropriate, so deems it appropriate.
To my understanding, I think the operating budget already has membership development under the executive line item as well.
So in my mind, it's just like in theory the finance board could do the same thing. If we wanted to spend our money on pizza, there's nothing in our budgetary statute stopping us from doing so. The line item is the Senate line item, and I don't see a need for the finance board to be controlling it that heavily. It's just like they don't issue those restrictions upon us because there's a certain level of trust between the branches that we're not going to do something like that. They should have the autonomy to spend the money as they deem necessary. Of course, even if there are goons and stuff like that, word spreads, and we can definitely deal with it when we get there. But I don't see why we're forcing such limitations on something that is theoretically under their control, when they do not reciprocate upon us. The budgetary statutes that we issue are completely free from Senate influence as well. So I don't see why we are going to go and functionally, this is the budgetary statutes for them, like our budgetary policy spending for them. Why are we coming in and being like, no, you can't spend on that? It's not our money.
I suppose to do the most effective use of the student dollar.
That's the finance board's job, not the Senate's though. The money, the budget overall, nowhere does it say that you have to use money. That's the finance board's prerogative to do so.
And that's what we're voting on.
Well, this
It
isn't
really
finance
is not
board
finance
money.
board's money.
It's
This
part of the
isn't-
budget though.
This is SGA money, not finance board's pot.
The finance board pot is guided by that directive. If it's just like overall, I mean, I'm pretty sure the SGA is pretty wasteful, and if we don't go around stopping every single thing that we get there, it's not our prerogative to do so. It's not money under our
But
control.
that also is the point of it being in joint legislation is that we are checking each other, which is why like it is important that we are aware and kind of on the same page. So I like second Scott's point in that. But yeah, I think we should just all like kind of be on the same page and not just say talk to Jared if you like, have concerns with that, he's open to suggestions.
I mean, it's just like I see it direct impact. As this, Scott, what you're currently asking is for the finance board to be able to approve what Senate spent on at a core. Functionally, he disapprove of what Senate can spend its money upon. Anything that we pass will theoretically grant the Senate the ability to spend the money on whatever that legislation deems it to be. Once it leaves these doors, the finance board has no further control over it. It's a futile effort. the Senate can freely spend it within, they can twist the words however they'd like to. If they really wanted to do it, Scott, there's language that you can use that gives enough vagueness where they can do it. And we can continually try to play the game of it, but honestly, the Senate, okay. I don't particularly care.
Okay, I'm still gonna use my best judgment when voting on the actual budget.
That's your prerogative. Seeing that, additional thoughts?
One thing I actually just remembered that like, he had originally put in there, but then when we talked last night, he changed it. I'd also like him to include the like majority vote by the Senate for them to spend their funds because that's what we do.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we can add stuff about legislation, I imagine, without clear it, right?
Yeah, yeah, just saying pass through Senate legislation.
Okay. Seeing that, Kunal, Zane?
Oh, I mean, I would be fine with, yeah, I think obviously having Senate see it and then talking with Jared about it.
No, I would say talk with Jared about it this week. Before
Yeah.
Senate.
Before Senate.
Yeah, but I mean, personally, I'm not having issues with it. And I think just with any other like line items that we have in the budget, you know, for like programming support, it's kind of like what's under like treasury media. So like other items, you know, that's discretionary to like those offices, and using that spending in whatever way they see fit and appropriate. So I think, I mean, I trust the Senate to do it in the same manner, spending their money in what way they feel necessary to benefit the Senate. So.
I trust the Senate as well. They have the right to do whatever they want with money.
Well, whatever, but within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yes.
So, I mean, we shouldn't be like enforcing restrictions and stuff like that. So, we have our own power to do it. Not no problems with this.
Alright, well, Scott, I advise you, of course, to contact Jared if there are some revisions you'd like to make. Have at it. Seeing that though, let's move on to the next topic. Alright, meeting preparation, everyone. Everyone's had a chance to look through all of the organizations that are coming in today. We have ESA Banquet, ESA Charity Week, Gala Lights Week, and PSAs and Hoops and the Roos. So ESA, we have ESA coming in. They are having an awareness banquet yearly. Everyone's read through this, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we don't really need to go over it. What's the revised number for UMBC tenants? 300 students, I believe.
Yeah, I think they just filled out the form reverse. It says that there's 42 undergrad or UMBC students and 342
yeah.
total, but that's supposed to be reversed. So it's supposed to be 42 outside, 300 students.
Yep.
And they do have 280 tickets.
So for overall.
Yeah, they have. So the way Britt was explaining it is that whatever that difference is, like what, 60-ish, is people that just are exempt from the tickets. So like their own people and like the contracts and stuff.
Okay.
People that don't have to pay for tickets, they're $10 a person.
The only question I have with this is the contract and other questions. And food.
So other events.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, I got it.
Carly, did they ever get back to you?
I
About
got
the-
an email, because they just sent me some documents earlier today that I decided to withdraw.
Great, but we just didn't have on so the documentation, I don't know if everyone saw this in the thing, but there's Walmart and Amazon documentation, but it's not anywhere on the allocation request.
Just allocation request, we won't consider it.
Well, Carly emailed them
Did they
during
respond?
the meeting, so that's why I was asking if there was a response.
They did respond, they did not include any decorations. But they did send like an updated, but like they, I can't tell.
Has anything changed?
Let's see.
And yeah, just to comment on the contract, I think that's just one that's very exuberant beyond our limits. I think the highest one we funded is like 50 maybe.
How are we going to question the food this time, considering, remember, we don't want to do any reading questions, stuff like that. I might kind of like.
Certainly think. What does the board feel like is an appropriate amount for food?
I agree with you.
Scott?
None.
What? None?
I think we're just doing ECS, right?
What?
That's where we're trying to fund.
I
There are
mean,
limited funds.
It was not explicitly stated.
Again, we should be micromanaging, so.
Yeah, we should not be micromanaging. We don't ask how they choose the food. We don't ask choices in food and stuff like that. I don't think that's particularly necessary. We look at the overall picture of what the point of the food is. I think we can question that.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, the question comes back to the finance board of how much food are we willing to spend this semester. This is the first food request coming in the new semester, and from here, I'd like us to follow a similar pattern.
So yeah, they just sent me an updated contract, still not including decorations, and the only thing that changed was the housekeeping increased. So in their meeting, right?
Okay.
What did it increase to?
593 and 49 cents.
Well, I'll check that in the box.
Okay. So I think we will continue to, we can go line by line, set up audiovisual. Audiovisual will be continued to fund it at the same rate. Of course, if we were to choose to strike the contract, I do expect that the audiovisual rate would actually fall a little bit more. Imagine the audiovisual is prepared for a specific performer for all the needs that are required for that one. Food. So what, they said 300 UMBC students at $10 heavy. Following last semester's precedent, they would have received $3,000. What is the board's opinion on food allocations for this semester?
Did we make a decision at the end of last semester?
I mean, it was not solidified.
It's one of those things that was up in the air.
Yep.
I mean, personally, with this, I think, I mean, that is like a large expenditure of food. But again,
The real, okay, go for it.
well, yeah, I kind of just don't want to throw out like arbitrary numbers, but I mean, percentages are kind of.
I feel like the real problem was registration and travel, which is the reason why we're in this kind of situation. Like that we spent on last semester.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind sticking with what we have,
Okay.
but I'm definitely open to changes.
Well, I think we can move on, first of all, to the contract. I think that's one that's a little bit easier to go through. What's everyone's opinion on the contract? 3,000 seems, I don't think the board can sustain 3,000 on a contract at this point.
I am not in favor of owning the contract because he's only performing for 30 to 45 minutes.
There we go as well.
There we go. But
That's
not the whole
what it
thing.
says in the contract. That's what it says in one of the screenshot of when you fill out the contract form. It says he's performing for like 30 to 45 minutes.
It must be really good.
Unless we like really good.
So that he's like,
There you go.
So do we have agreement on to cut the contract?
Yeah, I would strike that.
I would strike the contract.
So you go with that?
Okay. Now we can come back to the question of food. Food is $3,000 at the current moment. Would we like to revise down?
I mean, does anybody have we used like percentages before?
So, when we went into austerity measures the last time,
I think perhaps what we could do is instead of saying $10 per head per student, we could like round it to like what's a meal split? It was about a little under $7. And we could just say $7 per every student attendance and not cut it that way. That's a thought.
certainly could do that.
Yeah, and yeah, that makes sense. So
Cut it down to 7 based off of meal swipe.
using actual measurements.
Or you want to do 656?
What is it?
I think
I have
it's
it.
I keep thinking that it's like
65.
I thought it was higher.
625? Is that a number we're comfortable cutting it down towards? Or would we like to go further?
Well,
I don't
do
mind.
we? What's the like lunch swipe at default? I guess
It's-
That's 13
That's
something.
That's, yeah.
It's a lot.
So I,
Yeah, but that is like.
Just to touch back to the housekeeping, on the form it says $430 for housekeeping, not $596.
We'll keep it at $430.
That's the one she just sent. That's weird.
I checked inbox, it still says $430. I texted Rich to double check, but
Okay.
so stick with.
based on the documentation Rich has uploaded.
Yeah. Let's stick with 430. Alright, so food then, let's say we cut it to 625 for pretty much you're sticking to. I say She was only said 625, right?
Yeah.
625 is what you said this dependent. 625 times 300 brings us to a bit over 2,000, I believe. 1,875 for a new total, which is functionally around 50%, 60%-ish. Is that what we'd like to move with?
That's fine.
That's fair? Okay. Is everyone all right with that? Should we take a straw poll?
What is that number from?
Let me ask Mike.
625 times 300.
Like the equivalent of outtakes or? Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, equivalent of that.
Real exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Let's take a straw poll. Option A is to retain at $10 a head. Option B is to cut to 625, and option C is for neither. An additional option. Option A is to maintain the current standard at $10 a head. Option B is 625. Option C is a different number. All those for option A? All those for option B? 1, 2, 3. All those for option, I didn't know, C. Well, regardless, looks like I'm staying. It's fine. And then, yeah, it's just a straw poll, but I mean, a majority is reached, so we'll move to 625 then.
Okay.
Yep. 625 is the new total, so we'll issue the food.
And that is the actual meal swipe number, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Seeing that, we now reduce that food number to 1875 and then strike the contract as well. Of course,
I'd like to remind everyone that you should send this new number out to all the student orgs after this meeting.
yeah, so, alright, of course we'll explain that after them when they get here, but there you go. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Zane?
Sorry. Was this contract negotiated with Chandra stuff?
I don't think
it was.
I think they only technically negotiated this for 5,000 or more.
I thought it was 750.
Britt's aware of it regardless.
Oh,
She
okay.
said that she talked to him on the phone today or something.
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh, okay.
But also a reminder that since they did not turn in the Walmart and Amazon stuff on the new spreadsheet, just to keep that in mind.
Yep. I'm not in favor of adding those late items, like submissions. So, of course, another question that we do need to poke at a bit is that Scott brought this up in the prep meeting, is does this event count as a charity event? I know the board had expressed, personally me, had expressed concerns about funding for charity events. ESA, yeah. It's awareness, I mean, in the description they hit on charity, you know, that's of course a question that we do need to ask yourselves, the things that we'd like to do about that. I think further clarification from the organization will be helpful in your decision. You know?
So if this is a charity event, what did we decide on doing something like
It just
full request or?
it just is like
Not
not
prioritized.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, it's open to interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your email out didn't specifically say no to anything, but
Yeah.
not prioritized was the language.
So we heavily discussed.
Functionally, indeed. Of course, this will again apply to UNICEF as well. But let's move on now. Thank you very much, Josh. It should be open. UNICEF is coming in. UNICEF is requesting what they describe as a charity gala at the Skylight Lounge. Yeah, could you go to the description of the event again for me?
Yep.
Sorry, I need a refresher. Alright.
Charity gala.
Humanitarian action and emergency. Discuss the issues facing the international community and will educate UNICEF students on other cultures. But the name of it is Charity Gala, which of course throws up some red flags for us, but I think further questioning from the organization will allow us to make a determination. Yeah.
Britt said that they did not discuss anything charity related to her.
Yeah.
So she is confused by the name as well.
Right.
But
Yeah, because the second line is kind of veering off more into just like
Your educational.
educational, like event, like you know, stuff. Talking to those guys.
So let's go through their allocation request. So what they're requesting is the standard fare, functionally. as well as food and decorations. Did we vote upon their decorations for the equipment committee? We did not. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure their only real decoration was like plastic tablecloths.
Yeah.
Or the tablecloth factory, I don't know if that is or not.
Yeah.
And I think it was everything was too small to actually read.
Of course. So we will make the question on that one. And Carly, you and I will make a decision that we don't have quorum for oh my gosh. So okay, Candace, we need quorum to make a decision on the equipment. Right, the equipment. Yeah, for the tablecloths. Because we didn't vote on this one.
It just depends on whether they're plastic or not. Right?
Yep.
If they don't look plastic?
And they're too small for us to read.
No.
So if it is plastic, then strike.
No, if it
If
is
it's not
plastic,
plastic.
we're theoretically okay with it. If it isn't plastic, then we have to strike.
Probably cloth and
Yeah.
So the $28 Dollar General stuff is tissue paper.
That's fine. Should I do balance? What's the other thing for?
Tablecloth factory, 12 bushes of artificial silk roses.
Okay.
Why do they fish those on?
So because we voted with PSA for the equipment committee that flowers were in equipment, we'll also follow that ruling here. Carly? Is that good?
What was that?
It's what they're requesting from there was flowers.
Big flowers?
Yeah, big flowers.
Yeah.
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 So, PSA? Let's be real. Yep. So strike that line item from $28 off. Can you go back to the request for me, please, Joshua? Thank you. So, of course, we now have food. Could you sum this together for me? Okay, for just the food. Just for food. Yeah, just food. So you go from highlight 9, like from the, yeah, there you go, just line up. And then $499.58 is below the $6.25 head that we had agreed upon. So issue full funding for the food if this event is not a charity, whatever we determine to do with charity events. See that? Reproduction, what does that mean? Is that marketing? Okay.
That's how it's listed on the res gap. They also, for whatever reason, did not know how to do it and sent me a res gap filled out before the stuff. But
Yeah.
I included that in there just because I had everything listed out.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Like,
See that?
that's not how it works.
Okay, so we're good with this one? Good question, charity, what we're going to do with that one. Imagine the question will be answered in the previous organization's meeting. Moving on. Purchase Student Association is requesting, I believe, a bit over $9,000 as well. For Naru's, 450 students, 400 people in attendance, 340 of the students. 350, my bad. Seems like jumping up one of their allocation requests. Okay, so we have food, DJ, utensils, decoration, dancing, entertainment, movie, and then university setup piece. Tori, the university setup piece are a bit too high, correct? The fact it was 2,009 or something? Or
Just to backtrack to Issa, that 593 is the amount of decorations. So they added decorations just in with housekeeping, so it's just an incorrect number, so they'll have to just, technically it's on the list,
we'll
everyone.
roll off the previous one.
What do you mean?
So they added, when they added decorations, they simply combined the housekeeping number with the
Right.
decorations number.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just so you all are aware, one of the decorations is battery operated lights.
Yeah. So also, I don't see it's necessary to add on to the request. So we'll use the previous document that it issued us without the increased housekeeping because it's not identically correct by item. So
That's up to you guys, but they did technically try to add it in, just
incorrectly. So
saying that. PSA, oh, I said my sheet. So PSA says that their university setup fees are like their ECS fees are $3,310. If you look at the events sheet, that's not what it is. So the event sheet has it at like $6,000 some dollars, but that includes food and contracts. If you take away the food that's already listed and then the contracts already listed, it's $2,893. So I don't know where they're getting that number from.
we'll follow up with
Essentially.
that number and we'll reduce down common fees down to that.
Also decorations.
Decorations, the equipment committee made a decision that struck everything except for the tablecloths and the table runners, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll strike that number down from it's a bit over.
From 532 to 8687.
8687. Yeah. All right. Could you go back to the other document for me, Joshua? Thank you very much. There we go. Furthermore, utensils. This is a reduced one, correct?
Yeah.
Not the $700, I believe. They
Yes,
went
and
for the other one.
like $600+ for utensils, and I reached out and I was like, please find cheaper utensils.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So utensils. Are there any issues? I don't see why we would, but are these utensils too expensive? I don't know. Don't see any to recommend, to be honest. But
What are we talking about now?
utensil. Sure. Yeah. And then now for DJ entertainment, music, and movie, these are the combined contracts for $13.50, I believe. We want to issue cuts on this. Or would we like to issue them a flat amount for them to choose what they would like to issue their funds on?
Okay, it's the DJ entertainment and dancing entertainment whole thing.
It's a good question for the organization when they come in. I didn't look particularly into
I'll
that.
see if it's on here.
So,
And music.
the screenshot says the one group performing for $400, only performing for 15 minutes. DJ services for another performer. $150 for DJ. Someone's playing on an instrument for 15 minutes, and another person playing on an instrument. That's $300 total for like 30 minutes.
Okay. $10 a minute, everyone. Is that good?
No.
Well, $300 for both the musicians and the dancers, or just the musicians?
For just musicians, if they're playing for 30 minutes total, it's
Okay.
$300.
Okay. And for the dancers, similar, I imagine.
They're the $450 one.
It's $400.
Oh, it's just four. You're right. Just $400 and they're performing for around 15 minutes. So.
15 minutes. Okay. Would we like to issue cuts? I mean, of course, we'll clarify again with the organization just to double check, but
I'm in favor of a flat amount.
a flat amount.
What would that?
What would that flat amount be?
Based off.
I mean, functionally, they have the ability to reallocate anyways, so it doesn't particularly matter. But
I mean,
Do you think it's a little too excessive? See how long it's doing it?
what, $1,400 worth of contracts? $1,500 here on that.
So, for like about
For 15, I mean,
Yeah.
collectively
It's
45
1300.
minutes. 1,300.
Oh, DJ didn't put it. The movie's also a contract, don't forget.
Oh, my bad. So there's $1,000, $1,750 worth of contracts. A movie, music, and dancing entertainment.
I can see that in the contracts.
Movie functions the same way.
Britt has it on her list, on like the.
Oh, yeah. on the
Yeah.
spreadsheet, I see that.
That's broken. That's disgusting.
I'll be in favor of a flat amount right around 1,000.
1,000? Of course, the question then, for ESA, we struck completely. We did not issue them a flat amount. We need to stay consistent with that. Do we just strike contracts completely, or do we issue whatever we deem reasonable? I think sticking with the contract one keeps us out of the clear, making arbitrary barriers. Like, oh yeah, $1,000 sounds about right. You know, doesn't flow as well as contract cuts. Yeah. So I think maybe sticking with that method would be a bit more efficient. Are there any things that we see? I think 15 minutes for a dance and then $400 is a bit high. Yeah, I'm in favor of striking that.
Yep.
A DJ, $750. We have funded DJs at that level before, correct? I believe for Southeast Student Association.
Yeah, the last
It
request.
says on throughout the whole event.
Yeah, that's, well, that's, I don't see too much of an issue with that one. Then music and a movie. I think we do need to ask a bit more about what this is. I don't think the finance board should be funding students or whoever it is to be making movies, to be honest.
It's not making movies, it's the contract to show it.
Contract to show a movie.
Oh, so it's like bond price.
Yeah, about it, right.
Pretty sure.
Which we funded last one.
I mean, it's a new semester, right? We're bored, do what we want.
Not a new board, just a new semester.
You know, I feel like I'm really bored. Movie and music is the question now.
The music or the
This way, music is like this person like.
I guess so.
I think we should.
Do a parcel.
I think we should pursue maybe a bit more of a higher level observation. I think more organizations will be requesting DJs, and we stick flat with the DJ one. We don't consider other contracts or something like that as inconsistent, rather than one group gets a contract, and the group doesn't get a contract. I don't know. Just seems a bit more.
Would that mean we would fund ISA? If you said just DJs, then we would fund ISA for the $3,000.
It's not DJ, is it?
Yeah, he's
The
a rapper.
$3,000 DJ?
Wait.
He's a rapper.
He's a rapper.
Yeah, he's
Right,
performance
my bad.
before this.
My bad.
Yeah. And then the finance board retains the right to strike what's excessive, but limiting to a specific type.
In my opinion, that seems micromanaging.
Yeah.
But also limiting the DJ does it like discriminate against other like organizations that aren't bringing in DJ for like entertainment, but bring in like performances and like.
Could it be?
Valid concerns.
Could it be a stipulation about like if it costs more than this for an hour to have that person there, then we like don't fund it. But if it's under that, then it's fine. That makes sense. Like if we say like less than $100 an hour to have them, and the DJ has $300 contract and he's there for 3 hours, 40 hours, that's fine.
Yeah.
So that way it like cuts out like thousands of dollars for contracts.
So 100 an hour.
I don't know, that's just like an idea,
for
if
contracts?
you want to get like 200 an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thought, because I feel like that would be like a fair way, because that could also be seen as like honorariums or something, if like someone, like speakers.
Is there a max that we're willing to, like, what we've been talking about, since we established that $3,000 is excessive, what is the finance board's definition of excessive contracts in total? I mean, that's the big question that we need to address. What is the excessive, at what point does it become excessive? $3,000, we're in agreement, it's excessive. Fine. $2,000 total contracts, is that excessive? Or is 1,000 excessive? No. We can come to a determination here.
If it's 2,000 of one person, I think it's excessive, but 2,000 over like this kind
Multiple services?
Yeah.
I feel like because we've been like agreement on like DJ entertainment, which usually hovers around like 500 to 750. So I feel like more than $1,000 once we have a contract is probably excessive.
Okay.
But like a combination, probably up to like 2,000.
Yeah.
Is unfair.
Okay.
I really
I can see that.
I can see that.
So no more than $1,000 on just one contract, but no more than 2,000.
So then we'll retain the dancers then? For 15 minutes of performance at $400?
What was that last part?
We'll retain the dancers then at $400 for 15 minutes? I mean, yeah.
Should we also include time in this?
Time? I mean, yeah. So
Are we micromanaging at that point?
Yeah, are we micromanaging? It's just like, again, the question is sometimes we care that much. Or should we be issued? Like, I mean, again, we can issue a flat amount, Be like, use it as you see fit. The finance board will not make a determination on what you guys need.
So issue like you said like
$750 flat.
2,000.
Yeah, it's like, this is what you need, this is what you need.
So what's the fine? Is it 13 or
It's
1,700?
1750.
750.
I can issue a case.
It's just like a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but
People are music, you have dancers, you have a DJ.
what's going on is
So, I mean, I think it's just like at the finance board, we're playing on a micromanaging principle. We don't need to make a determination of something. Organization can make a determination of where they believe the money should be going. I think the finance board should simply just say, okay, this is how much we're willing to allocate for your entire event for contracts.
You should do that.
Yeah. Of course, the question now remains, how much are we willing to issue for payment contracts, etc. The common contracts we've seen, of course, are DJs, photographers. I think performances are generally a bit more rare. I think the combined amount of $750 is reasonable. $300 for photographer, which is what we generally see. Of course, again, this feels arbitrary, and again, it is arbitrary to be honest. But the finance board does need to make a decision. And I don't think there are any particularly good metrics for us to move off of other than that. I think a flat amount grants them the freedom to issue as they see fit, and does not constrain the finance board to micromanage.
So you want the flat amount to be
I think $750 is a reasonable amount for them.
and anything under 1,000. Like do 1,000, but 1,000.
Or, let's stop for a second. Is there a measure that we can use? Let's think about it. Is there a measure that we can use before we move on to this arbitrary decision-making process? Brainstorm, everyone. My favorite part of finance board.
So, and a measure we can use to see how much we want to give the contractor.
Yeah, it's like what's the max we're giving for contracts?
I like to give like a number, like $1 per hour or something with a contract, and we keep it within that. And then if that performer, their contract doesn't fall within that like performance range or whatever, then we would like, sorry.
So, if the one thing is just like, again, it feels micromanaging for finance board to be doing that again. It's like, honestly, you want to spend $750 on something for 4 hours, or do you want to spend $750 on something for 15 minutes? Is the finance board really the best one to make a decision? Like, yes, this is effective for your time.
In terms of time, like,
Yeah.
if we're going in the time scenario, then we're not going to. So I feel like issuing a straight up flat amount and say it's like this is going to spend the way
And that's just that the organization theoretically should know what's best
for that.
for them.
So I'm very comfortable with the flat amount.
Or do we want to issue something a bit more time-based, as Kylie said?
I think it's probably more complicated, so and arbitrary.
Is there like there's no like number that like ECS has, or like that they use
Every
for,
contract
like,
is
I mean, if you wanted to like create an average based on like all the things that you could possibly do that sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because contracts are.
Contracts, it's always an interesting part. It's just like, what's the role of the finance board in evaluating contracts? I mean, large contracts theoretically negotiated through CS. And then all the smaller ones kind of get thrown at us, and we're like, okay, well, if I'm going to be honest, everyone, I haven't exactly negotiated when you perform these contracts.
We should do a contract law 101.
Contract law 101. Oh boy, where's the breach?
I mean, I'd be okay with a flat rate, but again, I don't know, like, what if you, like, in setting a cap, like, what's a reasonable cap or like fair cap? It's not micromanaging.
Yeah, just give me numbers that you're leaning towards. 750.
I mean, it's difficult for finance board to make a determination because, we don't have anything to go off of other than, random ass numbers that are floating out.
Yeah.
So,
I think you need to decide what you're willing to spend per
organization.
event, because no one is going to know as far as what the average price is of different types of performances, because we don't typically always see the same things. This is a perfect example.
Right.
It's just a function where you're just trying to come to an allowance per event.
I like no more than $2,000 in contracts right now.
Yeah. For me, that leans a bit high. It's just contracts are a bit
That's fair.
out of everything. Contracts come a bit lower on the list because it's a bit easier to get negotiating crowdfund for those types of things.
Yeah.
So rather than ECS, like, what do you want the money for? I need to rent out a room. It's a lot less attractive than I need to bring yada 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 to buy stuff. Yeah.
You do like 1,500 compromise.
Okay.
2,000.
Yeah.
Big like
It's on it.
it would like cover the like in a scenario if you had like just a DJ that would cover that because DJ
DJs, it's like they vary a lot, to be honest. Like we see cheaper DJs at like 300, and we see, I think Blue Sasso was coming in with 750 for a DJ. I mean,
Yeah, but then they ended up micromanaging until like food and book.
yeah, I mean, we don't want to do that. But
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
Not,
So the 2,000 cap is about 3% of our budget for contracts per event.
okay. What would you see as an acceptable number?
I'm not sure. Should we even fund contracts at all?
About that.
No, I think we need to fund contracts. The core part of the event being fun for businesses. I'm gonna get 1,000 is fine.
So it sounds like 1,000.
1,000 as a max.
Well, I'm willing to spend on contracts. I have no issues with that, but
Yeah. So just how much we're willing to
yeah,
Yeah.
this is what we are right now.
I'm getting lower. I'm like 500, 750. It's just like enough to get you a photographer, enough to get you a DJ, whatever, a base level. I don't think. Honestly, it's, I'm just trying to.
Where if you were to fund
That put 750 towards little dude too.
It's really even that, yeah. It's like if you'd like to spend $750 on little dude, you can come up with another 2,000 something.
500.
Yeah.
2,200, 500.
Yeah. It's just like be my guest. I doubt, but of course, be my guest.
Do you want to do a strong poll?
All right, let's have a straw poll. What are the options would be? What is,
I don't really care about 2,000. So you can
Okay.
do like, whatever you
We're
want.
going like
1,000.
1,000, 750, 500? Or do you want to bump it up? So, okay.
We do it over.
Oh, option A. Option A is 1,000. Option B, 750. Option C, 500.
And then you want for that.
Okay.
And then option
B.
D, thank you.
I'm about to say, I'm about to say
I
B
was
is
like,
fine.
shoot. Option D is no contracts.
DE.
Yeah, all those for option A, $1,000. Oh, sorry, can't vote this one. I do apologize. Option 3, okay, 1,000. Option B, 750. Option C, 500. Option E, 0. Okay.
You're fine.
I was gonna say.
So we're gonna issue out $1,000 for every organization coming in. Okay. Yeah.
One of the things with that is like if people ask for $1,000 in contracts and then they're like, oh, we can't afford this, we can just reallocate to other areas in which the finance board allocates a specific percentage. So they would functionally have more money for food or ECS or other things than other organizations.
They have to receive approval first. I think at that point, Carly, we just won't allow this type of things to occur. Yeah, we'll hold organizations to more strictly.
That could be like, yeah, because if they're like if ESA was like, oh, we'll take the $1,000 for the contract, and then they just cancel the one and try to take the money or something else.
Yeah, they have to fill out a reallocation request.
And Carlos.
For expenses for this semester, I think we should limit them to within the line items.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Carly.
Mhm.
Okay, that's that. Can we go to?
Something else for members to email out to all orders.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Then you got this one for me? Or do you need me to do it? I can do it.
6.25 for
For me.
food.
Oh, copy me. Yeah.
Sometimes for contracts.
Or we'll use the finance board, whatever.